Hey guys, it's Dave, and it's been a while. I apologize for that. I haven't done a video in a while, but fortunately, because today was WWDC 2009, or the keynote rather, the event keeps going on the rest of this week. I have no shortage of things to talk about. However, what you might be expecting is sort of like a wrap-up video talking about all the things that were announced, Snow Leopard, the new iPhone, the laptops, and so on. That's not what I'm going to do. Tonight I'm just going to talk about the laptops. I may brush on the other subjects later, but for right now I just want to talk about the laptops. Now, this is an announcement that not very many people really talked about before WWDC. They didn't really see it coming, and well, I'm glad that it happened. So I've been in the laptop market for a while now. I desperately need a new laptop, and one of my choices, I weighed it down to a few. One of my choices was always the MacBook Pro, and until today, I found them prohibitively expensive to the point that I kind of had to rule them out just because the price was so high. The way I looked at it was I could buy it like an HP HDX, decent PC, plus like a Sony Bravia, maybe a 46-inch HD TV for the price of a high-end 15-inch MacBook Pro, 17-inch MacBook Pro, and so on. So they were always really expensive, and so I would have loved to have them because I love the design. I love how thin they are. I love that they're relatively light compared to the PCs out there. And so I always liked the design, and I felt like by going with a thicker HP HDX, I think the HP HDX that I was looking at, it's the 16-inch variant, was almost 2 inches thick, so that's twice the thickness of the MacBook Pro. And it weighed like 8 pounds or something, which is at least 3 pounds more than the MacBook Pro does. And if you're going to be traveling with a computer, obviously that's always something you have to take into consideration. So up until today, and I'm glad I held off on buying anything until after today, I was going to go with the HP HDX and just play it by ear from there. But today, fortunately, the MacBook Pro line had a bit of a price cut, and where the entry point before was $19.99 for the lowest end, they bumped that down to $16.99, and it's still a solid computer, the $16.99 one. The only thing it doesn't have that the others have is discrete graphics. The 9600 GT is actually discrete graphics, but otherwise it basically matches or does better than the HP HDX that I was looking forward to, and especially in its design, just because being able to have a smaller laptop that weighs a good chunk less is always a good thing. So I went ahead and ordered that right after the keynote. I ordered the MacBook Pro 15-inch, and so that's one thing you guys can look forward to. It hasn't shipped yet, I don't think. Just the order's been confirmed. So hopefully, if not this week, should be this week. Within a week, I'll probably have an unboxing, or if not an unboxing, at least a review of the 15-inch MacBook Pro. So that's something for you guys to look forward to. But what I really wanted to talk about tonight was the whole tablet/netbook rumor that's been going on for ages now. I was always one who said that didn't really make any sense. I wasn't a big fan of the idea of an Apple tablet/netbook because it didn't really fit into their product line, or at least I didn't feel it did. I always felt that it would compete severely with the MacBook Air, and well, obviously because there hasn't been one announced yet, one could presume that they were kind of thinking the same thing. However, today with the changes that were made to Apple's laptop lineup, specifically the fact that the one variant of the MacBook has been upgraded to a MacBook Pro, and that leaves only one version of the MacBook, which is the white plastic one that's been around since 2006. In fact, I have the black version right here that I got in 2006. It's not even a Core 2 Duo, it's a Core Duo. I actually bought it like a month or two right before they changed to Core 2 Duo. But the point is, the design has been around for a good chunk of time, and it's not like Apple to leave one of their stellar products that has gained a lot of support, a lot of popularity, and a lot of market share. A lot of people have been coming over to Apple because of their netbooks, or sorry, not their netbooks, Freudian slip, their laptops, specifically the MacBook, because it's a little more cost effective. It's not like them to leave that sort of design on such an important product untouched for that amount of time, at least in my opinion. So now that there's only one MacBook, everything else is either MacBook Pro or the MacBook Air. It really looks like their product line is skewed more to the pro consumer, which could be a problem if you're just an average Joe going to Apple's store or the Apple website looking for a notebook, and you see all these laptops that are either, you know, really small, meant for business consumers, obviously, or the MacBook Pro line, maybe something a little more than you really need. You're just going to be left with the one choice, and that doesn't really give you much choice. One of the biggest problems with Apple hardware in the first place is compared to PCs, you don't get as much choice overall. So that might lead to some confusion, or it might lead to people kind of leaning back towards PC as an option for their computer. So what I think is it is time, perhaps time for Apple to introduce a tablet or a netbook that is more aimed at general consumers, unlike the MacBook Pro line or the MacBook Air. And that might not even be the case. Maybe it's just time to update the way the MacBook looks and kind of flesh out the SKUs, but it just kind of leaves a big hole in their product line, in my opinion. So I'm actually getting to the point where it might make sense, in my opinion, for Apple to do sort of a tablet or a netbook or something, a touch device of some sort. We've heard that from Apple, people at Apple, that they would never be interested in doing something like a netbook because they're generally considered low, not necessarily low quality, but low budget machines that can't do a whole heck of a lot. They can, you know, browse the internet, do email, some basic photo stuff, but nothing compared to what a MacBook, especially a MacBook Pro or an iMac can do. But Apple has said things like that before. They said that they would never do a video iPod because who wants to watch video on such a small screen? So it could be just that they're working on it. 10 o'clock, thank you, Mac. They're working on something, they've been developing something, and it's going to kind of reimagine what we think of as netbooks or tablets, which actually tablets haven't really been faring that well lately. They've been losing a lot of popularity, but given Apple's reputation with touch devices, I think they'd be able to pull one out. So what do you guys think? Is it time for an Apple netbook, an Apple tablet? Is it time to take that rumor seriously or not? Should they just leave it with one MacBook and 3 MacBook Pros and a MacBook Air? Like I said, this is just kind of an offhand video. I was just thinking about this, how there's kind of a skew to the pro consumers in their laptop line, and Apple's laptop line is what has garnered a lot of their success for them. Even in their own keynotes, they admit that most people come to Apple for the laptops, not necessarily for the desktop computers. So that was just a quick thought, hopefully a quick thought. It's 8 minutes, not very quick actually. Hopefully I'll be able to get some more videos out and look for that MacBook Pro unboxing or review within a week. Okay, we'll talk to you later.